Shedeur Sanders remains undrafted after round three of NFL draft. Shalom, peace. I would like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Kwakadash, the honest the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace to the old full like scattered abroad at the four corners of the earth. So, I've been watching the NFL draft since Thursday, and truthfully, I anticipated Shedeur Sanders being drafted in the first round. I even thought he would be like a top five pick. However, we've witnessed him drop in the draft for whatever reason. And so I'm one of the people that actually started watching college football because of Colorado, right? And so to me, Shador was one of the best quarterbacks in the nation. You know, he passed the eye test. He put up some good highlights. They had a good record last year, but they fell short of making the playoffs. I believe by like one game or so. So they was close. Each year that they was at Colorado, and when I say they, I mean Deion Sanders, um, and of course his team and his family. They've improved. So to me, it's really no reason why he wasn't drafted in the first round at least. But now we witness him not get drafted in the second round. It's like I thought at least he would go second if he didn't go first, because the narrative was they was trying to prove a point that no team should take him in the first. Okay, all right, whatever, fine. But second, he doesn't go second round. It's like, what is this about? So here's this article from ESPN. Let's read through it. The Shedeur Sanders saga has gone from unexpected to inexplicable. The former Colorado quarterbacks fall out of the NFL draft's first round Thursday night was surprising. Mind you, I only watched this draft because of Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders. Like I said, I watched Colorado all last season, and they're the reason why I started watching college football. It was really the only team that I watched anyway. And here we are. But then came Friday night's plummet, widely projected as one of the top quarterback prospects in this year's draft. Sanders is stunningly still available entering the fourth round Saturday. So he's going into the fourth round, y'all. If nobody picks him in the fourth round, then it's like you have to question the integrity of this football game, of the NFL. Like, what are we doing here? After watching the New York Giants trade up to number 25 on Thursday night to select Ole Miss quarterback Jackson Dart, Sanders on Friday night had to stomach the New Orleans Saints selecting Louisville Tyler Shaw and the Seattle Seahawks selecting Alabama's Jalen Milroe and the Cleveland Browns selecting Oregon's Dylan Gabriel. So I thought that he was going to go 25 to the Giants because the Giants do need a quarterback for the future. I know that they have Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, but I'm sure they're not relying on Russell Wilson to be the quarterback of the future. I mean, he's older. You know what I mean? So I thought that he was going to go number 25, but no. The Giants picked Jackson Dart. So I looked at his highlights, and to me, he's not better than Shedeur. None of these quarterbacks are better than Shedeur. The Jackson Darts, the Tyler Shows, Jalen Milroe, you know, Dylan Gabriel. Like, who even watched these guys when they was in college? You know what I mean? So, I mean, all of this is just speculation. We gotta see how the NFL season plays out, right? But if we're just going by the eye test, none of these people are better than Shedeur. Also, similar to Thursday night, Friday night offered multiple opportunities for teams needing quarterbacks to select Sanders, but each opportunity ended without him hearing his name. Denver Broncos coach Sean Payton, who has known Sanders since he was in junior high school, said teams who pass over the quarterback should beware because he would use the snub as motivation in a successful NFL career. He's gonna let he's gonna like there be this chip on his shoulder. Beware because this guy is going to play in this league, Peyton said Friday. Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, who has a relationship with the Sanders family, praised Shador's character. Which that guy, Jerry, I mean, he's a weirdo. I remember he was caught on video talking about his players' rods. So if this doesn't show you how the NFL is eerily similar to past slave trading, then I don't know what does. Because I mean, we all should know what this is about. This has nothing to do with football or his skill set or anything like that. It has to do with his last name, his skin color, and it's just his confidence. Because they don't like a confident black man, and it's like that in the corporate world, and it's like that in the sports world. So to me, they're trying to make an example out of Shador. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no reason why you have all these other quarterbacks that are getting picked before Shador. When Shador was projected to be a top five pick at one point. So what changed? Did Shador's game change? Did his highlights change? Or did people's perception of him change due to the media smearing his name? So anyway, I'm not even gonna read any more of this article. Actually, let's touch on the fact that the Steelers passed on him. I thought he would go 21. I think they had the 21st pick, the Steelers, because they also need a quarterback. So I thought that they would go with him, but no, they ended up passing on Shador. And the Steelers coach Mike Tomlin, he spoke highly of Shador. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe there's a connection, but no, everybody was expecting him to go first, but no, he fell. So let's jump down to this paragraph. So the Browns passed on Shador's four times, including twice and four picks in the second round. The Steelers, who have no proven starting quarterback, passed on Sanders for the second time in two nights. Sanders has had a little to say since Friday night, other than a pair of posts on X of "Thank you God for everything." He wrote Friday night, and on Saturday morning he posted another day, another opportunity to get a chance to play the game I love. Thank you God, legendary. Um, Might as well keep going. Sanders was the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year and is son of Hall of Fame cornerback and Colorado coach Deion Sanders, giving him a huge profile, unlike a few college football players before him. So Shador was the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year, and that doesn't count for anything. You see, Shador Sanders' game has been criticized, including his limited mobility and tendency to hold the ball too long while in the pocket. Um, so yeah, they're going into like his game and his flaws, but you can't just focus all on like the negative. You have to focus on what he also does well, and Nobody's perfect. Everybody has things that they go work on and get better at. So, as usual, I like to filter my thoughts through the scriptures. So let's get a precept. Um, Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. So this is dealing with um, the wicked of this world oppressing the righteous, which the righteous are the Israelites, so called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And it's like no matter what facet of life or what door you enter through, you're always going to be looked at as second fiddle or nothing. And Esau is the one who's going to always have the perception of himself being the top man on this earth. Even though you look at Jake, Jake is way more talented, the most talented people on this earth. I mean, you look at the NFL, it's dominated by blacks, right? However, you have 0% ownership in the NFL. There's not a single black owner. All the owners are white. So they're trying to keep a good thing going of being in control of sports leagues, entertainment, and media, while you have you know Jake who makes it into that world, but it's just a worker to them. And you'll even have instances where Jake will get cheated. Their work will be looked down upon. I mean, just look at Shedeur. He was the offensive player of the year in his conference, but that doesn't count for anything. Not only that, he balled out. He had great games, good highlights, but that's not enough to go first round. You got these other quarterbacks going before him. So let me read this again. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as afflicted him and made no account of his labors. So, Shedeur, just keep your head up. You'll most likely get drafted. If you don't, that'll be madness. So, just keep your head up. Be positive. Um, this does have an effect on his career, getting drafted this low, because now he's going to go to a better team or a team that doesn't have much of a need for a quarterback. So then he may wound up being like a backup quarterback. He might not even get no playing time wherever he gets drafted. So he's going to have to work harder and get it out the mud when really he could have been like a top pick and he could have been the main man. He could have been QB1. So yeah, this has an effect on his career. So it's just gonna be more adversity that he's gonna have to face and try to make it through. That's all. But either way, he's in a good space. His father's Deion Sanders. He's rich. He has money. He has wealth. So it's all good for him either way. If I was him, I would just approach it from the standpoint of getting the chance and opportunity to play the game that you love, which is football. And he said that himself. So on that note, I'm gonna end. Peace.